Welcome to Amaravati, today's daily global roundup. Each day, we bring you a concise and insightful roundup of the latest global developments, ensuring you stay informed and connected to the pulse of the world. In response to the January 28 militia strike that killed 3 U.S. service members and injured over 40 others at Jordan's Tower 22 base, President Joe Biden ordered strikes against Iran-affiliated militias in Iraq and Syria on February 2. According to Pentagon Press Secretary Air Force Major General Pat Ryder, these strikes have yielded positive outcomes. The U.S. military targeted 7 facilities, including command centers, intelligence facilities, and weapon storage sites, hitting over 85 targets. Ryder confirmed that more than 80 targets were destroyed or functionally damaged, with casualty assessments ongoing. Ryder emphasized that these strikes mark the beginning of the U.S. response, warning that further actions will be taken against the IRGC and affiliated militias for their attacks on U.S. and coalition forces. He reiterated the U.S.'s aim to avoid conflict in the Middle East but asserted that attacks on American forces would not be tolerated. Separately, multinational forces, including the US, UK, Australia, and others, targeted Houthi-controlled areas in Yemen on February 3. The coalition aimed to disrupt and degrade Houthi capabilities used to attack international vessels in the Red Sea. Ryder emphasized that these actions aim to defend lives and ensure the free flow of commerce in a crucial waterway. The international coalition plans to continue efforts in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. In a ceremony held at Peterson Space Force Base in Colorado Springs, Colorado, General Gregory M. Gillett has officially assumed command of the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, and United States Northern Command, U.S. NORTHCOM, replacing General Glenn D. Van Herk. The Minister of National Defense, Bill Blair, extended congratulations to General Gillett and expressed gratitude for General Van Herk's contributions to safeguarding North American skies and enhancing military cooperation between Canada and the United States. Canada reaffirmed its commitment to NORAD through its $38.6 billion NORAD modernization plan, aimed at strengthening its defense capabilities over the next 2 decades. The plan includes investments in next-generation radar systems, upgraded command and control systems, and significant improvements to northern airfields. Canada has also procured or upgraded approximately 140 new aircraft since 2022, including 88 F-35 fighter jets, air-to-air refueling and transport aircraft, P-8A Poseidon aircraft for maritime and overland surveillance, and MQ-9B remotely piloted aircraft systems to enhance interoperability with the United States. The Canada-US defense relationship within NORAD continues to be a cornerstone of North American security, ensuring the safety of citizens on both sides of the border. In a coordinated effort, US and British forces have carried out targeted strikes on Houthi positions in Yemen, responding to ongoing attacks on shipping in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. The strikes aim to disrupt and diminish the capabilities of the Iranian-backed Houthi militia, which has been conducting destabilizing attacks against U.S. and international vessels transients the Red Sea. An international coalition comprising Australia, Bahrain, Denmark, Canada, the Netherlands, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States joined forces in the operation, striking 36 Houthi targets across 13 locations in Yemen. The precision strikes targeted Houthi weapons storage facilities, missile systems, launchers, air defense systems, and radars. These actions come in response to over 30 Houthi attacks on commercial and naval vessels since mid-November. The coalition's objective remains their escalation and the restoration of stability in the Red Sea, emphasizing its commitment to defending lives and global commerce in this vital waterway. Furthermore, U.S. Central Command conducted defensive strikes against Houthi threats, including a strike on a prepared anti-ship cruise missile and engagements with unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, over the Gulf of Aden and Red Sea. The Houthi militia receives support from Iran, making these strikes crucial in preventing their continued unlawful assaults on shipping in the region. Defense scientists from Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States have carried out collaborative trials testing various robotic vehicles and their sensors at the Kultana training area in South Australia. The trusted operation of robotic vehicles in a contested environment, TORVICE, trial, conducted in the fall of 2023, aimed to identify and address vulnerabilities faced by autonomous systems in congested electronic warfare environments. During the trial, a network of robotic ground vehicles represented autonomous multi-domain launchers and uncrewed ground vehicles from the UK and the US. These vehicles underwent electronic warfare, electro-optical, and position, navigation, and timing attacks, all conducted by Australian scientists. Dr. Peter Showbridge, Chief Land and Joint Warfare at Defence, emphasized the importance of understanding how robotic vehicles react in contested environments to enhance their resilience. TORVICE is part of the AUKUS Advanced Capabilities Pillar, focusing on AI and autonomy technologies to promote security and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. Through AUKUS, Australia, the UK, and the US are advancing responsible military use of AI and autonomy technologies. In accordance with the War Powers Resolution, President Joe Biden has submitted a letter to the Speaker of the House and President pro tempore of the Senate detailing military actions taken in response to threats posed by Yemen-based Houthi militants. The President reported a series of attacks on United States military forces and commercial shipping in the Red Sea region since November 2023, highlighting the dangers these actions pose to U.S. personnel, ships, regional stability, and navigational rights. President Biden directed discrete strikes on Yemeni facilities tied to Houthi militants' missile, air surveillance, and unmanned aerial vehicle capabilities. These actions were conducted alongside multinational partners, including the United Kingdom, Australia, Bahrain, Canada, Denmark, the Netherlands, and New Zealand. The strikes aim to safeguard U.S. personnel and assets, disrupt Houthi capabilities, and prevent further destabilization of the region. The President emphasized that these actions were taken in accordance with international law and the United States' right of self-defense, as outlined in the United Nations Charter's Article 51. President Biden stands prepared to take further action to address any future threats or attacks. The Biden-Harris administration has thrown its support behind a bipartisan agreement in the Senate aimed at addressing crucial national security concerns. President Biden's commitment to bipartisan cooperation to enhance border security and immigration reform has been a cornerstone of his administration. The proposed agreement, if enacted into law, promises comprehensive and equitable border reforms, prioritizing safety, security, and humane treatment while upholding legal immigration. Key provisions of the agreement include granting temporary emergency authority to shut down the border during overwhelming situations and expediting work authorization for asylum seekers. It establishes a fairer and more efficient process for asylum claims and enhances screening processes to ensure public safety. Additionally, the agreement allocates substantial funding to combat smuggling, drug trafficking, and improve border security. The agreement also addresses international concerns, providing critical aid to Ukraine and Israel. Furthermore, it expands lawful pathways to the United States, prioritizing family reunification and economic-based immigration. It emphasizes the humane treatment of asylum seekers, particularly vulnerable populations like children and mentally incompetent adults. Lastly, the agreement seeks to bolster the Indo-Pacific region by providing resources to allies and partners, addressing emerging challenges, and preserving peace and stability. The Biden-Harris administration calls on Congress to act promptly and pass this vital bipartisan national security agreement. U.S. Principal Deputy National Security Advisor John Feiner embarked on a diplomatic mission to Guyana and Colombia on February 4-5, reinforcing U.S. collaboration with regional partners on key issues. Discussions encompassed democratic governance, economic stability, and regional security, with National Security Council Senior Director for the Western Hemisphere, Juan Gonzalez, accompanying him. In Guyana, Mr. Feiner met President Irfan Ali to reiterate the United States' unwavering support for Guyana's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and defense capabilities. Bilateral cooperation on regional security, climate change, and food security was also on the agenda. Mr. Feiner praised Guyana's leadership in the region, including its backing of a Haitian political accord and the Multinational Security Support (MSS) mission for Haiti. The focus was also on advancing shared priorities during Guyana's 2-year membership on the UN Security Council. Meetings with Caribbean Community (CARICOM) Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett addressed plans for the MSS in Haiti and promoting democratic governance in Venezuela. In Colombia, discussions with President Gustavo Petro aim to strengthen the long-standing U.S.-Colombian partnership. Key topics included support for the peace accord implementation, enhancing economic ties, countering narcotics trafficking, managing hemispheric migration, and collaborative efforts concerning Venezuela's Barbados Agreement commitments and preparations for competitive and inclusive elections. U.S. President Joe Biden has conveyed his heartfelt condolences and concerns over the catastrophic wildfires wreaking havoc in Chile. In a statement, he expressed deep sadness for the lives lost and the widespread devastation caused by these relentless fires. The president, alongside First Lady Jill Biden, offered thoughts and prayers for the affected individuals and their families, as well as admiration for the first responders courageously battling the flames and assisting displaced communities. President Biden affirmed that his administration is in contact with Chilean authorities and stands ready to extend any necessary assistance to the people of Chile during this challenging period. This declaration reinforces the United States' unwavering support for Chile as the nation grapples with the ongoing wildfire crisis. U.S. Principal Deputy National Security Advisor John Feiner embarked on a diplomatic mission to Guyana and Colombia on February 4-5, reinforcing U.S. collaboration with regional partners on key issues. Discussions encompassed democratic governance, economic stability, and regional security, with National Security Council Senior Director for the Western Hemisphere, Juan Gonzalez, accompanying him. In Guyana, Mr. Feiner met President Irfan Ali to reiterate the United States' unwavering support for Guyana's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and defense capabilities. Bilateral cooperation on regional security, climate change, and food security was also on the agenda. Mr. Feiner praised Guyana's leadership in the region, including its backing of a Haitian political accord and the Multinational Security Support (MSS) mission for Haiti. The focus was also on advancing shared priorities during Guyana's 2-year membership on the UN Security Council. Meetings with Caribbean Community (CARICOM) Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett addressed plans for the MSS in Haiti and promoting democratic governance in Venezuela. In Colombia, discussions with President Gustavo Petro aimed to strengthen the long-standing U.S.-Colombian partnership. Key topics included support for the peace accord implementation, enhancing economic ties, countering narcotics trafficking, managing hemispheric migration, and collaborative efforts concerning Venezuela's Barbados Agreement commitments and preparations for competitive and inclusive elections. U.S. President Joe Biden has conveyed his heartfelt condolences and concerns over the catastrophic wildfires wreaking havoc in Chile. In a statement, he expressed deep sadness for the lives lost and the widespread devastation caused by these relentless fires. The president, alongside First Lady Jill Biden, offered thoughts and prayers for the affected individuals and their families, as well as admiration for the first responders courageously battling the flames and assisting displaced communities. President Biden affirmed that his administration is in contact with Chilean authorities and stands ready to extend any necessary assistance to the people of Chile during this challenging period. This declaration reinforces the United States' unwavering support for Chile as the nation grapples with the ongoing wildfire crisis. U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for the Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs, Brian A. Nichols, is set to travel to Buenos Aires, Argentina, from February 4 to 6, marking an important diplomatic mission. During his visit, Assistant Secretary Nichols will hold significant meetings with senior Argentine government officials, including President Javier Milei, Foreign Minister Dina Mondino, Security Minister Patricia Bullrich, and Economy Minister Luis Caputo. The discussions will encompass a wide range of topics, including regional and global challenges, economic stabilization efforts, and other areas of mutual interest. Additionally, Assistant Secretary Nichols will engage with private sector representatives to explore opportunities for new U.S. investments in Argentina, with the aim of fostering inclusive prosperity for both nations. Furthermore, the Assistant Secretary will meet with civil society stakeholders, including union leaders and alumni of U.S.-sponsored programs dedicated to advancing human rights in Argentina, underscoring the importance of collaborative efforts on multiple fronts. Under Secretary for Economic Growth, Energy, and the Environment, Jose W. Fernandez, is embarking on a significant journey to Cape Town, South Africa, from February 4 to 7. He will lead a U.S. government delegation participating in the Investing in African Mining Indaba. On February 5, Undersecretary Fernandez will contribute to a panel discussion focusing on the security of critical mineral supply chains. During his visit, he will engage in several bilateral discussions with government and industry representatives. This visit marks his third attendance at the forum, emphasizing the U.S. government's enduring commitment to critical minerals diplomacy. The primary focus is on supporting transparent, sustainable, and diversified supply chains for critical minerals essential to the clean energy transition, demonstrating the United States' dedication to this crucial aspect of global development. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken engaged in a critical conversation with former Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta regarding the escalating conflict in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. The discussion underscored the significance of the Nairobi process in charting a path towards reconciliation with armed groups in the region. Secretary Blinken emphasized the pivotal role played by regional leaders in assisting both the DRC and Rwanda in implementing confidence-building measures and other commitments. These commitments were previously discussed with Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines and other senior U.S. officials. The conversation signifies the United States' commitment to regional diplomacy and collaboration to address the ongoing crisis in eastern DRC and promote stability in the area. U.S. Secretary of State Antony J. Blinken held a crucial meeting with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, in Riyadh. The discussions primarily centered on addressing the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and preventing the escalation of conflict in the region. Secretary Blinken emphasized the significance of regional cooperation to achieve a sustainable resolution for the Gaza crisis, promoting lasting peace and security for both Israelis and Palestinians. Additionally, they stressed the importance of fostering a more interconnected and prosperous region while reaffirming the enduring strategic partnership between the United States and Saudi Arabia. Furthermore, the Secretary and Crown Prince deliberated on the pressing need to ease regional tensions, particularly by halting Houthi attacks that disrupt freedom of navigation in the Red Sea and hinder progress in the Yemen peace process. The United States extends warm congratulations to Nayib Bukele on his resounding victory in the El Salvadoran presidential election. The U.S. government acknowledges the vital role played by electoral observers and eagerly anticipates collaborating with President-elect Bukele and Vice President-elect Felix Ulloa upon their inauguration in June. This congratulatory message underscores the enduring and robust relationship between the United States and the people of El Salvador, spanning over 160 years, grounded in shared values, regional bonds, and familial connections. Events in El Salvador hold significant sway over U.S. interests both domestically and globally, underscoring the importance of collaboration. The United States reaffirms its commitment to prioritizing good governance, inclusive economic growth, fair trial guarantees, and human rights in El Salvador, in line with its root causes strategy, with a shared goal of addressing challenges within the hemisphere and beyond. In a recent conversation, U.S. Secretary of State Antony J. Blinken held discussions with UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron, who provided updates on his meetings in Israel and the West Bank. They delved into ongoing efforts to secure the release of all hostages and to establish a humanitarian pause that would facilitate increased aid delivery to Gaza's civilians. The conversation also extended to the situation in the Red Sea, with a focus on international actions to hold the Houthis accountable for their unlawful attacks on vessels. Both leaders reaffirmed the strong commitment of the United States and the United Kingdom to support Ukraine. Furthermore, Secretary Blinken congratulated Foreign Secretary Cameron on the successful reinstatement of the Northern Ireland Assembly and Executive, underscoring their shared interest in global diplomacy and regional stability. Assistant Secretary Todd D. Robinson of the Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, INAIL, is embarking on a 5-day journey to Peru and Ecuador, starting from February 5 to 9. His mission is to emphasize the United States' resolute dedication to combating transnational organized crime and the illicit drug trade. In Peru, on February 6, Assistant Secretary Robinson will engage in discussions with Peruvian authorities to explore opportunities for enhanced collaboration against transnational organized crime. He will also visit the port of Callao, where INL is actively supporting efforts to strengthen Peru's ability to intercept illegal contraband. Additionally, he will inspect the INL-backed program that aids youth struggling with substance abuse issues within the Superior Court of Callao, Ventanilla. From February 7 to 9, in Guayaquil and Quito, Ecuador, Robinson will collaborate with Ecuadorian counterparts to bolster U.S. support for Ecuador's fight against rising narco-criminal violence. He will observe INL-supported initiatives that promote information sharing and bolster the capabilities of the police and armed forces. Deputy Assistant Secretary Kevin Sullivan from the Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs will accompany Robinson in Ecuador. The United States aims to strengthen law enforcement cooperation in both Ecuador and Peru through its security assistance programs. The United States, in its role as chair of the Minerals Security Partnership, MSP, along with MSP partners, is proud to announce a significant milestone in mineral security with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between L.A. General des Carrieres et des Mines, GECAMINES, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, and the Japan Organization for Metals and Energy Security, JOGMEC. This historic collaboration, a product of intensive discussions among MSP members, establishes a framework for cooperation in mineral exploration, production, and processing. It aligns with the shared commitment to the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment, PGI, and its Lobito Corridor Development Initiative. The MOU aims to expand business opportunities for both entities in the mining and mineral resources sector. This coordination among MSP partners underscores the MSP's commitment to securing and diversifying critical mineral supply chains, which not only benefit local communities but also source countries like the DRC. GECAMINES, with its substantial portfolio of joint venture projects in production, signifies a crucial player in the Lobito Corridor project, contributing over 1.5 million tons of copper cathodes, 100,000 tons of cobalt hydroxide, and more from upcoming projects. Thank you for tuning into Amaravati Today's Daily Global Roundup. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. Your support means the world, and we look forward to bringing you more engaging content in the days to come. Thank you for being a part of the Amaravati Today community.